Hello, let me share with you how this beautiful bodycon dress with pleated asymmetric neckline and bell sleeve is made. If there's something you'd love to learn, do stick and stay. Let's do it together. So we first would mark this straight line to serve as our starting line. Then we divide our shoulder to shoulder measurement into two and mark. Then we mark 1.5 shoulder slope. We'll then mark 3 inches to serve as our neck width. Then we join these 2 points. After that, we will divide our around our measurement into 2 and mark. Then we square it off. Then we mark our shoulder to nipple point. Then our shoulder to waist. We are using these 2. After we are done with that, we would also square these 2 lines. Then we input our bust measurement divided by 4. We do same for the nipple line we marked earlier. Then the waist also divided by 4 we mark. Then we join these 3 points. Next, we mark our armhole. We'll go ahead and cut this out. We'll use the same thing to cut another fabric, but then leaving seam allowance at the back for our zipper allowance. Then we mark our armhole. This will guide us as we mark our sleeve. And so this is the starting line for the sleeve. Then the whole sleeve length, that's 23, and so we mark our 23. Then we mark 7 inches. We're also marking 5 inches inward. We curve this to get our sleeve cap. When we measure this very sleeve cap, we should be getting exactly what we got for the armhole we measured earlier. Now, we would mark our round arm measurement divided by 2 here. Then we mark our shoulder to elbow. And so as we connect this, it means the top part of the sleeve will be a bit fitting. Then as it gets down, we get a bell sleeve. And so we open this arc in this very manner, as you can see. Once you're done with this, we'll go ahead and cut out. We cut another piece. So this is the skirt part of our dress. So our waistline is marked. We mark our shoulder, our hip line. Then we mark our length. We are squaring these off. The hip measurement divided by 4 is marked here. Then we use the top to also mark our waist, as you see. Then this would also be our hip divided by 4 minus 2 inches. We join these 3 points to also get our hip curve and then our pencil skirt. We're adding just about 2 inches to it because the client wants it to go down a little bit. Now we can go ahead and cut this. We'll use this to cut another piece to get 2 pieces. We're also leaving our zipper allowance, 1/4 inch zipper allowance at the back, as you can see. We are widening the neck width by half, then the other side also by 3 inches. This is to give us the asymmetric nature of our neckline. And so we join these 2 points using an arc. We'll go ahead and cut it out. We place this on the other fabric we had cut for the back, and then we'd also cut same. But as you can see, that of the back is a bit wider than the front. It's because of the zipper allowance we added to the back. And so when we shift it like this, we get the 2 to be same. So we're now going to place the sleeve that we had cut earlier, matching it as if we are going to stitch onto this off shoulder part. Then we cut the excess off. With the other part, we will leave it without cutting anything. Now we'll go ahead and then join the skirt part of our dress to the top. That's what we are doing right now. And so we stitch it. Then we also join in the shoulder. I'd usually prefer to stitch the end before you come and begin from the front, so that by the time you are done stitching, the two fabrics will stay intact without any of them shifting. Right, so it's now time to fix our sleeves. So we fix this. That is as I'm pinning them. Repeat same for this other side. Then we'll go ahead and then fix the other sleeve as well. Always make sure that they are good size together. This fold you see right here helps so much because the fabric stretches. When you use this, it rolls over the fabric. It's more like a walking foot, and so it makes the stitching very easy. And for once, when your fabric even stretches, it wouldn't break the stitches. We're going to fix our zipper. We place the zipper like this. I don't want it to pucker at the back or to have any bulge at the back, and because of that, I pull the dress inward a bit so that the zipper straightens up, and then the fabric rather shrinks a bit beneath the zipper. And so I've placed the zipper on one side. We'll go ahead and stitch. I'm changing this foot, and then we'll use the left and right foot, which is for the zipper fixing. You go ahead and stitch this. When it gets to the other side of our zipper, we'll flip it over like this so that the good sides face down. Then we match the marking we had marked from the beginning, and then we stitch. We're going to stitch onward till we get to the top of our zipper. I'd already stitched the top. That's how come I've ended here. So this is what we have. We will slit the dress into two along the stitches we had done on the zipper. Then we turn this over, we cut, we meet the corners, any of them. And so when we turn this over, we can close our zipper by pulling this to the wrong side and then closing it up like this. Then we're going to flip this also to the good side, also to the wrong side actually, and then we stitch. So that's what you see neatly done here. Let's give it a good press. Right, and so we're going to stitch the seam allowance. This is just about 1/2 inch. Now for the pleat, we have cut this fabric into 10.5 inches and the full length measures 56 inches. You can do more depending on the availability of fabric you have. I've placed this hem tape, or hem gum as some would call it, into this space that is about 2.5 inches apart. Then we place them good size together. We'll go ahead and stitch. We leave a bit of space here, then we'll also stitch the end. This is it. We are done stitching. We also place the hem tape at this part because we've closed the edges as well. We are giving it a press. We want to press open our seam. But one thing you should notice is that because of the hem tape that has been placed beneath, if you press this too hot, it will stick, and that would make the sewing uncomfortable. So what I do is that I'm press opening the seam under a very low heat, so that when you even turn, the hem tape will be there without sticking. It's very, very important you do this. After that, we fish it good side out. If you are new to our channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Also, share with us your comments, anything you don't understand. Right, and so after we're done bagging it good side out, we'll go ahead and give it a good press. And this is the reason why we had added the hem tape, so that when you press the edges, as you see, it will stick and wouldn't open. It helps to make the fabric lie very, very flat and intact. And you also get a crispy edge. It's very, very important you do this. Now this is the center. We're going to mark 2.5 inches width of each of the pleats. Then our inverted pleat will be made of 3.5 spaces, and so 2.5 inches will be the pleat we need. This is the center. That's what I've marked. Now we're going to mark 3.5. Then we'll mark 2.5, 3.5, 2.5, 3.5. We just continue like that. We do same for the other side. In between each of the 3.5s, we also mark the midpoint, and that is where each of the 2.5 would be ending, as you see. So we mark this, we fold this to the midpoint of the 3.5, then this would also meet at the 3.5. We just continue this till we exhaust the whole fabric. And so we'll stitch it in place just by folding it and then stitching the mid part. This is just a base you are doing. Alright, after that we'll finish the hem of our dress. This is with the help of a narrow foot hem, a narrow hem foot actually, a narrow hem foot. That's what we're using. We're going to place this on. We also slitted the back a bit so that we could finish the center back neatly. Now we place the center of our pleat onto the center of our dress like this. Then we'll pin and make sure your pleat is a bit longer than the space to which you're going to fix the pleat. Repeat same for the other side. You make sure that by the time you stitch, the two pleats would also meet exactly the same. One wouldn't have to surpass the other. So we take this to our sewing machine and stitch all the way to this part. Finish our neckline, and so we're also using a narrow hem foot to finish the neckline. Then we would finish our zipper, and we fix the second pleat also around the neckline. In case you do not have a narrow hem foot, you can just run overlock stitches on the edge, turn it over, and then stitch very closely. So we finish our zipper. I'm flipping it over for a top stitch. And so our neckline is finished. We'll go ahead and place the second pleat all around the neck. The end is very important. You don't want one of the pleats to be up and the other to be beneath. It should just follow coherently. Then we stitch all along, then we are done.